Welcome back from the rest hold. You guys like that break? Long break. Ooh. So we've got Money in the Bank to talk about. A couple different matches. Parts 4 through 10 are going to be all dedicated to this. Part 11 is going to be the Fantasy League. So we're going to go by match in the order that they went on the pay-per-view. And, of course, we're going to start off with the kickoff, the pre-show match, R-Truth versus King Barrett. I was disappointed that this wasn't for a spot in the ladder match because I was really hoping that R-Truth would have been involved in that at some point. You know, I thought that they built it up with the Monday Night Raw thing, and instead they didn't, and it was just a generic pre-show match. You know, I thought it was kind of boring. You know, it was fine, but blah. I really kind of wanted more, even though I shouldn't have expected more, because it really was just kind of like thrown on there on a whim. But if there wasn't going to be for a spot in that, I don't know why they went with R-Truth, because King Barrett's kind of looking shitty lately. What do you guys think about this?
Well, first of all, before I get started, I must say that in true pre-show fashion, I have a Mountain Dew Kickstart sitting in front of me, unopened. And this is true. So I might open and actually break the rules and see what it tastes like. As far as the match goes, again, I predicted King Barrett on this one. I was thinking, you know, he's been losing every single match ever since he got the King of the Ring, just about. And especially since it's R-Truth, what does he have to gain? So I thought, oh, easy, King Barrett wins. Nope. That isn't the way it works. The match itself, I don't know, it was all right. After the match, though, I like the antics after the match way more than the match itself, where R-Truth goes and Truth grabs the crown and starts talking to the announcers and stuff, and he has a little face-off with Barrett. So I thought that was cool. The match itself, I thought, was kind of forgettable, though.
Yeah, the stuff before and after the match were definitely better than the match. R-Truth cut some kind of a promo about Game of Thrones and something, and, you know, that was kind of fun. Do you like this, Wego?
As to the match itself, the only thing that I agree with it is, personally, if I was booking a show, the opening match is a average to quick pace match, which the babyface wins. So I'm fine with R-Truth going over in that sense, but I can't help but feel it should have been against someone else.
Maybe like Adam Rhodes or something?
Anyone. I mean, yeah. You could have just put a guy in there that could move around with Truth and have Truth get his win, do his jig, and everyone's happy. But I don't understand sacrificing Barrett, especially after he's won the King of the Ring. If anything, that King of the Ring has only tainted him. I would have liked to have seen him inserted into the Money in the Bank, but I guess this is how far he's fallen. I don't understand why they had him beat Neville all those times if the end game was just they weren't going to do anything with him.
Why does WWE do this?
I guess they figure since he has the title that he doesn't need to win, which makes the title or the King of the Ring title look like it's not worth much if everyone can beat him after he's won. I don't get it.
That's never made any sense to me. I don't get that at all.
I think it's a sign. Damn, that was a can of explosion.
Kickstarted that.
Fuck, he did. So I don't understand it because, and I think it's because it's that
was a good, great first step, right?
Kickstarter tastes awful.
It's not too terrible. It's worth the $1 that I paid for it,
I guess. So I guess it's just a lack of long-term booking. They've got an idea of where they want to go with these guys, maybe a couple weeks, but they don't have any long-term plans, so the end result is it gets fucked up.
The before and after stuff I mentioned before, that was actually very entertaining to me. I thought the best part of this whole segment was afterward, R-Truth started acting like, well, now I'm King of the Ring. And they're like, no, you're not. That was not on the line. And he's like, I'm going to be such a great king. I'm going to give everybody a job. And, you know, Michael Cole, you can be the jester. Jerry Lawler, you're a king, so you can be my stunt double. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that cracked me up. And he's just like, yeah, I'm a stunt double. Woo!
R-Truth, so much better when he's supposed to be playing this, like, nut job character. Whenever he's, like, going out there just rapping and shit, I could not care less.
I do like the new goofier kind of persona that they've given him lately. I dig that.
Apparently Little Jimmy comes back this week.
Okay.
That whole, like, fake little kid that he was talking to, apparently that's going to be on SmackDown. Something with that. pre-show did include one other thing. I mentioned it before. They did a tribute to Dusty Rhodes, the 10-bell salute. Very nice of them to do that. You know, they kind of go back and forth between whether they just put a graphic up, or they do a video package, where they do the 10-bell salute. But to me, nothing beats the bells.
Well, he got both, and he definitely deserves both.
Mm-hmm.
They went all out for him, and he's one of those guys, when you have your Mount Rushmore of wrestling, you can argue to put him up there.
Yeah, I think it was really... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I think I just totally ripped off Payton's line.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I think it's really great, the respect that they paid for him, you know, with the video packages, and especially like this week, the last week, going through and listening to all the people in the biz giving their own personal opinions on Twitter and in interviews and stuff. I think they did a great job in honoring him.
One of the parts that I thought was really biting was after they viewed the video package, they didn't even cut to Renee Young, but you could hear her trying to say, we're going to go to the social media lounge with Tom Phillips, and she was a wreck.
Yeah, she was breaking up.
That was the only person that really seemed, not that nobody was upset, but that was the only one that like cracked, kind of.
Well, when they had all the superstars and divas on the stage, you could tell Paige was losing it too. She was crying a lot.
Yeah,
but
it's always humbling to see that kind of stuff.
But yeah, Renee Young definitely affected her.
Which just makes me like Renee Young even more, because I always like sentimental people. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, it sucks. Like, there's no way to beat around that bush. Like, you know, it's a shame that Dusty Rhodes passed away, and it's just good to see that they aren't milking it for anything. They're not trying to, you know, Orton's not cutting a promo about him being dead. Like, you know, they don't need to do that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's okay, I think, depending on the circumstances, but I can't imagine anything coming out of this other than maybe Cody Rhodes drops the Stardust thing.
That's what I was wondering, if they were going to do that the next night on Raw. But I'm glad. I'm also, like you said, I'm glad they didn't work it into an angle. They didn't need to do that.
I have a different perspective on that. I think they kept him off television probably because they still have this plan for him versus Stephen Amell. This doesn't really work into it. If he drops the Stardust character, he can't do the celebrity match.
He could team with him.
Yeah, but I don't think it's in their plans, and I don't think it works as well. So, you know what? If this happened, I probably wouldn't want to be working a match anyway, so I'm sure he's happy to have the time off.
Well, if it is going to happen, it's going to happen at SummerSlam. So he doesn't need to be around to build it up for Battleground.
Yeah, but if he's back, everyone's going to want him in the normal Cody Rhodes gimmick, so I think they're just avoiding that whole mess.
Well, as we are going to go through all this, remember, guys, leave your comments below. Tell us what you thought about the segment, and we're 2 segments for this part, and tell us what you think about our opinions, too, because, you know, if we are totally wrong about something, then leave a comment. I know a lot of people are going to think that when it comes to the Divas stuff. Everybody's always like, you need somebody else to talk about the Divas, and it's like, well, they'd say the same shit. But next up is going to be, oddly enough, the Money in the Bank ladder match. They started off the night with that. Very odd. So that'll be part 5. Part 6, we'll talk about the Divas, and you'll hate us. Part 7, we'll talk about Ryback, and you'll love us again, because Ryback's the man. Kevin Owens and John Cena's after that. New Day versus Primetime Players is part 9. Part 10 is the main event, and then Fantasy League, and then that'll be it. So stay tuned. Click on the next video. Follow along with what we're talking about. Money in the Bank.